Hey guys, Catherine Arensberg here, and today I wanted to answer one of the most frequently asked questions that I get from clients who are about to tackle kind of a big project in their yard, and that is, how do I phase this project? And it's actually a really simple answer, so here we go. You want to phase your project depending on how big it is. Take it from the most complicated and the establishing point first. So, for example, in my own house, when we moved in, we've got a ton of painting and millions of other things to get done, but we knew that we had to do the HVAC system, the roof, and remove a wall because we wanted, and it was a load-bearing wall, right? So we got all of those things done first. Then we're chipping away at the smaller things like flooring and removing wallpaper and removing popcorn ceilings and things like that. So in your instance, if you're doing a yard and you plan on building a pool or an arbor or anything that's a large structure, I would definitely recommend doing that thing first. Those are usually the most expensive things to do, but they're also the thing that will disturb your life the most as far as piles of dirt in your backyard and messing up other things. So if you were to do landscape first and then you decided you were going to dig the pool because you were going to afford it later, that may not be the best idea because you may undo what you did with the landscape. And so I would highly recommend hiring a designer, getting a master plan so that you know what it's going to look like when it's finished, and then taking each element of that design and working your way from the biggest thing down to the smallest thing. Now, if you're a person that only has a landscape to do and your budget is a little smaller than somebody who's building a pool or a new garage or some big thing like that, what I would recommend to do is to establish your bed lines first, and I mean the landscape bed lines. So again, you get your plan and you get in there and you establish your bed lines, dig out all of the old existing material and plants that you don't plan to use. We call it demo or demolition. And then lay brand new pine straw down or whatever kind of mulch you like to use, and then keep the weeds down until it's time for you to start planting, because the planting is the more expensive portion of that project. And I know that's backward from what I just mentioned a second ago, but in this case, you want to get the establishment done first, and then you can go back later and put in plants. Phase 2, if you're just doing landscape, so phase 1 was the landscape beds, put the mulch in, pull out all of the existing plant material that you don't plan to use, and then keep it all kind of down and killed off until you can get to purchasing your plants. Then you want to plant probably your big plant material. If you have any trees going in, any large evergreen shrubs, things like that, and get those moving, because sometimes you have to plant them a little smaller and it takes some time for them to get big. And if you don't have the budget to do it all at one time, I would recommend doing the trees and large shrubs first, and then finally moving forward, third phase, to the shrubs and the ground cover. So by the time you're finished, you'll have this it could be 5 years down the road, it could be 10 years down the road, who knows? Whatever your timeline is, it's up to you, but you'll have that master plan and you'll know how to move about it, and you'll know what you can do first in order to not mess up what you had done previously. So just remember, in large projects, you really want to start with the foundational things first, and then in the small projects, I guess it's always foundational, but just in one side, it's a more expensive foundation than the other side is. So hopefully that's helpful to you. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, get out there and do those projects.